What's up everyone, Mark Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Let's talk about Red 40, the red dyes. There's 3, there's 40. There's a few different red dyes. Now, you see a lot of people saying to avoid those, and I want to explain how you're partially right and partially wrong. Now, I'm not going to tell you to eat synthetic things. There's a lot of natural food colors that are available to replace it, but let's say you get something birthday cake sprinkles, right? It has Red 40. You see that on the label, right? Or you get like Hawaiian Punch or Kool-Aid where there's Red 40 on the label. I want to explain to you the difference, dose, duration, and why you might be seeing issues that come up from it and why it's been vilified. So a lot of the studies on these dyes have been done in rodent models, mice, rat, what have you, right? So the claims for Red 40 are things like increase in ADHD, which I think we could look around and say maybe it's misdiagnosed, maybe it's some other things, increase in migraines, things like that, things that affect the brain. Now, looking at Red 40, there's a difference. There's a dose difference. So if you get a little bit of Red 40 in, let's say, a sprinkle in a cupcake, right? That's not a big deal. That's not going to be enough to do anything to you, right? Now, where I see the issue with the Red 40 that was being consumed in the past, right? Everything's toxic if taken in abundance. Water, hyperactivity is dangerous when taken in excess. For example, the studies on artificial sweeteners, what they do, they injected rats with like more than their body weight in these sweeteners. So they had those effects that were yet to be able to be reproduced in humans. So you need to look at human studies versus rodent studies. Am I saying that we should just go in and mainline Red 40? No. If you have a beverage or a drink that contains Red 40, I'm saying to limit its consumption. But if, let's say, you have a birthday cake and it has Red 40 in the sprinkles, right? Or if you have a cupcake, there's a little bit of Red 40. Or if you have, let's say, an alcoholic beverage, it's already not good for you, right? But let's say there's a tad bit of Red 40 in the coloring, but it's only 2 ounces of liquid. Okay, not an issue. Now, when I was a kid, I used to drink the red Kool-Aid. My dad had diabetes, so we used to make Kool-Aid with sweet and low before it was a thing. I drank more Red 40 before the age of 10 than most people drink in their entire lives. So what I'm looking at is, it's kind of like the seed oil debate where, okay, if I'm replacing all of my fat with seed oils, nothing good comes of it. But you have some people out there saying that if you remove all seed oils, you can no longer get sunburns. Okay. Obviously, there's no science to that. They're claiming free radical this, free radical that. People are just making stuff up. So a lot of the Red 40 comes from people online using scare tactics to sell whatever they want to sell. I'm a nuanced kind of guy. I could go all in or I could go all out, but instead I choose to go with the science. At the end of the day, what I'm seeing is people who over-consume things that contain Red 40. And in certain rodent data where they're using a ton of Red 40, you're getting some deleterious effects. Are they crazy bad? Now, there is one component to Red 40 that has been linked to cancer. However, every mineral in the ground has, from lead to cadmium, everything you find in nature has been linked to cancer if you look at certain data. So when I look at things, I like to look at a moderation standpoint. Do I like alcohol? No. I don't drink it. I don't like it. However, I understand that people like it when they go out with friends. It makes them feel good. Maybe they like the taste. They like the way they make it feel. Then I'm like, you know what? You're going to do some damage, but let's not do too much. So instead of doing a kegger, have a couple drinks, get a little tipsy, have a little fun, call it a night. Don't do it every night of the week. As with Red 40, I wouldn't live my life looking at labels and miss out on a cookie because there's a little bit of Red 40 in the sprinkles. I would just simply knock down 10 gallons of Hawaiian Punch that has probably, if you look at one sprinkle, or let's say you have 10 red sprinkles, right? And you compare it to a whole gallon of Hawaiian Punch, including the other stuff in there that might be sugar if you're not using sugar-free, you're looking at a lot of issues with that, right? Comes down to moderation. while we can all sit and say we do everything as whole, natural, and great as possible, look, man, nobody can be perfect, and that's no way to live your life. It's not gonna add years to your life. It's not gonna cure ADHD, but things that contain a ton of Red 40 probably aren't things you wanna be taking in excess anyways. So again, if you have a cupcake, maybe every morning you go to the bakery and there's this wonderful little pastry you have that fits your macros that has sprinkles on it. There's some red sprinkles and you're like, oh, I like that. And you eat it. Don't worry about the Red 40. Don't worry about it. It's not enough to hurt you. It's not enough to do anything to you. However, if you're drinking a gallon of Hawaiian Punch a day that's full of Red 40 and sugar, it's probably an issue. Speaking of issues, if you're watching this today, we do have the Memorial Day sale at tigerfitness.com. It is 20% off our top brands, free epic t-shirt. Orders over $75, orders $99 and above, you get this epic sling bag. Do I have it? Yes, I do. Here it is. This epic sling bag. Look at this bad boy right here. All these pockets free. Orders over $99, of course, free shipping over $99. Tigerfitness.com. Let me know your thoughts about Red 40. Comment down below. Hell, talk about seed oils. Again, this channel sucks. We've been suppressed since 2020 when we talked about vitamin D. Let's get out of this. I need your comments. I need your likes. I need all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching. Above all that, if you're going to buy supplements, not saying go out of your way to buy something you wouldn't normally buy. If you buy whey protein, we have MTS Whey. If you buy multivitamins, we got MTS Nutrition Immortal. If you buy anything, we got hundreds of brands. Tigerfitness.com. Please support me. Support companies that love you. Support companies that don't hate you. Support companies that support you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Mark Lobliner. That's not a game.